Hi, you guys, and let's talk about Chapter 3, Lesson 2, solving equations having like terms and parentheses. So the big idea, we're using distributive property, which means I want to see the rainbows, okay? So make sure you show that. Okay, I'm going to jump down here to example 2 and take a look at A. I wrote it over here, negative 24 equals 6 times the quantity 2 minus x. Okay, so there are certain things we want to do with our red pen. Right now, grab your red pen and put that giant 1 in front of the x. And see that subtraction sign in front of the x. Add a line and change the sign. Okay, and now circle the number outside the parentheses and draw 2 rainbows to each term inside the parentheses. And now notice I brought down negative 24, I brought down my equal signs, and then do the rainbows, do the distributive property. 6 times 2 gives me 12. I copy the plus sign, and then 6 times negative 1x gives me negative 6x. And now I can solve this. So I use my red, I circle the variable, I bring down the wall. And remember, we want to destroy what's being added first. So I see 12 is being added, so I'm going to subtract 12 on both sides of my wall. So negative 24 minus 12 gives me negative 36. I bring down the equal sign, and I bring down my negative 6x. And now I circle my variable, I bring down the wall. I have to get rid of that negative 6 in front of the x. Well, the only way to get rid of that is to divide both sides by negative 6. So make sure you see dividing by negative 6 on both sides of the wall, and then you just simplify. Negative 36 divided by negative 6 is positive 6. Bring down the equal sign, and of course negative 6 divided by negative 6 creates that giant invisible positive 1 in front of the x. Okay, let's look at example B right here, and notice how I took the equation and I wrote it here. So I have negative 2 times the quantity 7 minus 4x equals 10. And so with your red pen, grab your red, in front of that 4x, add a line and change the sign. And now I'm going to circle the number outside the parentheses, and I draw 2 rainbows because we have to do the distributive property first. So negative 2 times 7 gives me negative 14. I bring down the plus sign, and then negative 2 times negative 4x gives me positive 8x. I brought down the equal sign, I bring down the 10. And so now I have a 2-step equation I can solve. I circle the variable, I bring down my wall, and remember, we have to destroy what's being added first. So see the adding negative 14. The only way to destroy that is to add a positive 14 on both sides of the wall. And then we simplify. Negative 14 plus positive 14 destroy each other. Bring down the 8x, bring down the equal sign, and 10 plus 14 makes 24. And so now we circle the variable, bring down the wall. We have to destroy that 8. And the only way to destroy the 8 that's being multiplied is to do the inverse. Divide both sides by 8. And so 8 divided by 8 creates that giant invisible 1 in front of the x. Bring down the x, bring down the equal sign, and of course 24 divided by 8 gives us 3. Okay, now they're going to add a little bit. They want us to combine like terms. So remember, if things match, we have to add them after we distribute. So take a look at this equation. 6x minus 4 times the quantity x minus 1 equals 14. Well, the first thing I did is write it exactly like it's printed. Then grab your red pen right now, and with your red, add a line and change the sign in front of the 4, and add a line and change the sign in front of the 1. Okay, so now we're going to get ready to do the distributive property. With your red pen, circle that negative 4 and draw 2 rainbows, one to the x and one to the negative 1. And that's what we're going to do first, is just a distributive property. So look what I did. I brought down the 6x and I brought down the plus. Now do the distributive property. Negative 4 times x gives me negative 4x. And then I brought down the plus sign, and then negative 4 times negative 1 gives me a positive 4. And then just let the equal sign slide down, let the 14 slide down. Okay, and now notice how I used orange and not red, because I want you to notice something. With an orange colored pencil, put your wall down, and I want you to look right here. On the left side of the wall, I see 6x plus negative 4x. Here's the deal. If you can combine things, you must combine like terms before you destroy anything. So 6x plus negative 4x makes 2x. So I have 2x. I bring down the plus, bring down the 4, bring down the equal sign, and bring down 14. And so now it just looks like a regular two-step equation. So now you're ready to destroy stuff. So grab your red, circle the variable, bring down the wall. Notice we have to destroy the adding first. So I see adding 4, so I'm going to subtract 4 on both sides of my wall. So I simplify now. Bring down the 2x. Positive 4 plus negative 4 destroy each other. Bring down the equal sign, and 14 plus negative 4 makes 10. So now I just have 2x equals 10. So circle the variable, bring down the wall. There's only one way to get rid of that 2, to divide both sides by 2. And so then we simplify. 2 divided by 2 gives us that giant 1 in front of the x. Bring down the x, bring down the equal sign, and 10 divided by 2 gives us 5. Okay, so now we're going to solve these equations, and you must show your work, please. Okay, look at number 1. I copied what they gave us. Negative 20 equals 5 times the quantity 3 minus x. Now with your red pen, put that giant 1 in front of the x and add a line and change the sign in front of the 1. And now circle the 5 and draw 2 rainbows. Okay, so everything else that we didn't circle, we're just going to drop down. So let the negative 20 drop down, let the equal sign drop down, and now do the distributive property. 5 times 3 makes 15. Let the plus sign drop down, and then 5 times negative 1x makes negative 5x. So now you have negative 20 equals 15 plus negative 5x. Now you're ready to destroy things, okay? So with your red, circle the variable, bring down the wall. Remember, we have to get rid of the adding 15 first. So the best way to get rid of the adding 15 is to add a negative 15 on both sides, which is the same as subtracting 15. And so now let's simplify. Negative 20 plus negative 15 makes negative 35. I let the equal sign slide straight down. 15 plus negative 15 destroy each other. And then let the negative 5x slide down. Now, you have negative 35 equals negative 5x. So with your red, circle the x and bring down the wall. Remember, you're trying to get rid of that negative 5 right here in front of the x, and the only way to do it is to divide both sides by negative 5. So now you simplify. Negative 35 divided by negative 5 makes positive 7. Let the equal sign come down, and then remember, negative 5 divided by negative 5 creates that invisible 1 in front of the x, and just bring the x down. Now take a look at number 2. So copy it the way they gave it to us. 4y minus 14 plus 3y equals 28. Now notice how I'm using orange first because we have to combine like terms first. But with my red, I added a line and changed the sign in front of the 14. And with my orange, I noticed when I brought the wall down, do you see how the 3y and the 4y are on the same side of the wall? That means they're on the same team. That means they want to get together. So 4y plus 3y makes 7y. And then I bring down the plus, I brought down the negative 14, let the equal sign come down, and bring down your 28. And now you have a two-step equation. So circle the variable with your red, bring down the wall, and now look at that negative 14 that's being added. Well, we could add a positive 14 to destroy it. And so whatever we do on one side of the wall, we have to copy on the other side of the wall. And now we simplify. Bring down the 7y. Negative 14 plus positive 14 destroy each other. Let the equal sign come down. 28 plus 14 makes 42. Okay, so we have 7y equals 42. Now circle your variable, bring down the wall. Remember, the only way to get rid of that 7 in front of the y is to divide both sides by 7. And so now I simplify. 7 divided by 7 makes that giant 1 in front of the variable. Bring down the y, bring down your equal sign, and 42 divided by 7 makes 6, and we're done. Okay, so take a look at number 3. We have negative 3 times the quantity, 6 minus 2x equals 12. So with your red pen, add a line, change a sign, and now I'm going to circle the negative 3 and I draw 2 rainbows, one to the 6 and one to the negative 2x. Now do the distributive property with me, okay? So negative 3 times 6 gave me negative 18. Bring your addition sign down, and negative 3 times negative 2x makes positive 6x. Let the equal sign come down, let the 12 come down. And now you have a two-step equation. So with your red, circle the variable, bring down your wall. Now we have to get rid of that adding negative 18. So we're going to add a positive 18 to destroy it. And so whatever I do on the left side, I have to do on the right-hand side. And then simplify. Negative 18 plus positive 18 destroy each other. Let the 6x come down. Let the equal sign come down. And then 12 plus 18 made 30. So that gave me 6x equals 30. So circle your variable. Bring down the wall. The only way to get rid of that 6 in front of the x is to divide both sides by 6. And now we simplify. 6 divided by 6 creates that giant 1. And then x comes down, the equal sign comes down, and 30 divided by 6 gives us 5. Okay, take a look at number 4. We have 5x minus 2 times the quantity, x minus 3 equals 30. So I wrote the whole thing right out, and then grab your red pen. And in front of the 2, see that minus sign? Add a line and change the sign. In front of the 2, in front of the x, I just put the giant 1 so I could see it. And in front of the 3, I added a line and changed the sign. Now we're ready to do the distributive property. So circle the number that you're going to distribute and draw 2 rainbows. Okay, now I just would advise you bring the 5x straight down, bring the addition sign straight down, and now do the distributive property. Negative 2 times 1x gave me negative 2x. I let the addition sign come down, and then negative 2 times negative 3 gave me positive 6. I let the equal sign come down, I let the 30 come down. Okay, now notice how I used orange. I put a little orange wall down, and then I noticed that 5x and negative 2x are on the same side of the wall, and that means they want to join together. So 5x plus negative 2x made 3x, and then I let the addition sign come down, the 6 came down, the equal sign came down, and the 30 came down. And now, with my red, I'm ready to start destroying things. So I circle the variable, I bring down the wall. Notice how I have to get rid of adding 6. So I subtracted 6 from both sides of the wall, and I let the 3x come down. Positive 6 plus negative 6 destroyed each other. Let the equal sign slide down, and 30 minus 6 gave me 24. And that left me with 3x equals 24. Now I circled my variable, I brought the wall down. The only way to get rid of the 3 is to divide both sides by 3. So that's what I did. 3 divided by 3 gave me that invisible 1. I let the x come down, I let the equal sign come down, and 24 divided by 3 gave me 8. And we're done.